Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr., and I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in to try to figure out some more about your dog. Because today, I want to talk a little bit more about this concept of doing nothing and seeing results. And the concept of, I'm not here to sell you anything. And in reality, you try it, you don't, and it doesn't get you anywhere, you check that off the list is what I'm going to say. But the one thing I'm going to say is more than likely, it's not going to lead you into a worse scenario, as opposed to other things can lead you into a bad case scenario. And something I want to talk about today, because it's a fantastic comment that I got that, something that I said yesterday about paying attention to people being in reactive mode. When you're in reactive mode, you're going to say some things and you may not mean it, but in reality, you're just lashing out, and it shows. At least for me, I don't know why it's easy for it to show to me. But the reason is on this whole, I want to kind of circle back and keep talking about, I want to help as many people not go to the shelter, not have to put their dogs in there. I don't want the dogs to have to be in the situation where the human being is frustrated, so aggravated, so enraged that it's like, I quit on this dog and have to give up on the dog. I want to be the person that's able to be at the top side of this, not at the bottom side of, oh, you pulled the dog out and now where are we? Because in reality, we're running into I don't want to say dangerous, because at the end of the day it's not, but just a challenging situation nowadays with more and more dogs being given up on. More and more dogs just ended up in these shelters, and these shelters, they are not capable of keeping up. You know what happens when they're not capable of keeping up? They end up having to put the dogs down, because what else can we do? We can't do anything, so we have no choice. It's like if the prison systems are full, I guess we just build a new prison. I don't even know who we're doing that in reality at the end of the day. But a lot of this stuff is behind closed doors. And in reality, a lot of the shelter rescue stuff is behind closed doors, and no one actually is truly understanding exactly what's going on. So I want to make sure that we don't get our dogs in that place in the first place. That's why I want to be able to speak away. And the way that I'm going to speak is based on, like, this is a fantastic comment, because I have, say, some experience. I don't have 50 years of experience in working in shelters. I just have some. And I have some from other people that I've been able to learn from and to understand from, and for them to basically, like, say the same things that I'm saying, but they just kind of don't want to say it. But it just is what it is. And right here is something that's fascinating, because this comment is phenomenal to explain why these dogs are in the shelter, which is the same thing that I was already saying, but it's like he's trying to say it in a different way, as if he's like smarter in a way. And I appreciate that, someone would try to do this. But it says, I would guess that most shelter dogs that have been surrendered have not had any real training program. The reason most dogs are surrendered to shelters, in my experience, is because when people hit a roadblock with unwanted behaviors, they go online and get advice from people who are not qualified, so they get confused and do things or don't do things to make the situation worse. And he says that me suggesting an adopter to do nothing is horrible advice in most cases. Now, something that I think is absolutely amazing in the sense that, what is most dog training today? Most dog training for anyone to get any sort of assistance, any sort of help, is online. And most dog trainers have what? A course to sell. And if you have a course to sell and someone's willing to buy it, that trainer or that facility must be in a position of, I would say, authority to be able to even get someone to give them money. It would be like me right now doing what I'm doing and being able to say, hey, I got this course and you buy it for, no one's going to buy nothing from me. And I don't even want anyone to buy anything from me. And that's the purpose and the point of what it is that I do. But most cases, people are going to these training companies and buying their training courses, and they're putting money into it. There's of course going to be those ones that just giving up on dogs. But again, why I'm saying that, most of these dogs already know a lot of the cues, a lot of the commands. They already know the things. They already have a system and a style. They already understand a lot, if most all of it. A lot of the dogs do. So that means that a lot of the dogs have had someone, like he stated, they've tried an online training program. But the main thing is, most of these online training programs make most people feel inadequate and just pointless, worthless. You know why? Because how many videos are on this YouTube of, get your dog to loose leash walk in 5 minutes, get your dog to place in 5 minutes, get your dog to this in 5 minutes. So they're buying these courses with these expectations, because the lingo, the advertisement is showing, in 30 days, your dog is going to be off leash, well-behaved, well-mannered, and it's going to be good to go. And you get into this course and you're like 35 days in, you're like, man, my dog is savage. And it's going to get someone to say, my dog's not trainable. So now you have to give up on that dog. And a lot of most of the training programs that are for purchase today, there's more inexpensive ones, so 30, 50, 60 bucks. But then there's some that I've seen on the upper end of $8,000. They're saying if you get this and your dog is going to be well-mannered, well-behaved, able to do anything, you're going to have clear communication, everything's going to be good to go with it. And then we get into these programs. And then we start to work on it. And then we realize in 5 minutes, my dog isn't walking like that guy's dog is. In 5 minutes, my dog isn't sitting the way that that dog is. In 5 minutes, my dog is this. And you're like, oh, next day, I got to do the next day. And you're just going to get behind because it's not realistic. It's phony. It's fake. Straight up. That's the only way that we can say that it is. Because in 5 minutes, as fast as you get something in 5 minutes, 5 minutes later, we're going to have issues. So this is why, exactly how he states, that people are going to trainers online trying to get help, and they're not getting the help because there's no actual real information on how to be able to get that help for most people. Because most of it is on the concept of give me money, give me money, give me money. This is why I want to be on the top end of I'm frustrated with my dog. And this is something that I'm going to say straight up. Who am I? I'm a nobody. I'm just a simple man, simple human being. I do weird stuff. I got all kinds of animals. I got at least 1,000 baby chicks at this point. I do some strange stuff. I got a strange world. I'm a hardcore. I'm just a who knows who I am and what I'm all about. And this is the thing that I want to be able to say to somebody. You can listen to because the main thing is I know how the world works. Free advice is advice that no one really wants to pay attention to. And I just had to slow myself down a couple months ago and just have faith and just say, I'm going to keep doing that. Even though I know it's not really going to get anywhere, but I'm just going to say, hey, try this and see what happens. I didn't force you to click on this video. I didn't already sell you something where you're already $1,000 into it and now you're on the hook. And what I'm saying to you is like going to damage you, is going to destroy you, it's going to make you go backwards. Because what I'm saying in reality is not going to make things any worse. Could it make it better? It could make it better, but it's not going to make it any worse. That's the number one thing that I know that I don't ever want to put. That's why I don't want to show videos of how to this and how to that, because if you do it wrong, you can mess it up. If your timing isn't right, you can mess it up. If you're not really paying attention to all the little things in the language of that body of the dog, you can mess some things up. And I don't want to do that because I don't want you to mess up. I want you to get into a better place. So it's something that is fascinating about any kind of pushback to be given on what it is I talk about. Because I'm not demanding anything from you. I'm not making you pay me anything. I'm not saying that nothing's going to work if you don't do what I tell you to do. I'm just giving a recommendation. Advice from myself that I've learned and heard from someone else that gave it to me for free in reality. I didn't have to listen to it because how I know, same with everyone, same with me. It can't be real if it's free. Like, what's the gimmick here? Where's the trickery going to start to happen? Because it's not free. You're going to get me lined up. You're going to get me all excited. And then you're going to be like, man, buy this $2,400 course and you'll be able to get to the next steps. You know, how frustrated do we get as human beings with that? And that's not at all what I'm here to set up. So I'm not telling you and forcing you and lying to you and trying to manipulate you and try to do anything to you. I just am going to simply say, grab the dang dog. Stop playing the games with all the sittings. If you're having issues with your dog, that the number one thing that I want to say is my dog doesn't listen to me. If your dog doesn't listen to you, you need to slow things down. Take steps back. Stop moving so forward so fast. Because when you're trying to this is the thing. Oh, another great comment of the blind leading the blind. I would rather be a blind leading the blind as opposed to confused leading the confusion. Because at least the blind are able to slow down. Think through a process. Understand a process. Try that process and realize, no, we're going too fast. Let's slow it back down. And they're able to amplify their other senses to be able to understand what's going on so that they can be able to put a good plan together. But a confused person is going to lead another confused person or nowhere. You're going in circles, man. You're going to keep going nowhere. And that's what's kind of going on with the unfortunate most dog training programs. People are getting led into confusion because they're not sure exactly what's going on. They're not sure when to click to give the reward. They're not sure when to pull the leash to give the correction. They're not sure of all these things, and you're just guessing. You're a confused person learning from another confused person, and you're gonna destroy that animal, and then that's why it ends up in the shelter. That's why I'm saying to just take 100 steps back. Slow down, take steps back. Is it going to destroy everything you got going on? I'm just gonna say I highly doubt that. And if it does, write me an email and say, Mark, I stopped doing treats. I stopped petting the dog. I started to just allow the dog to just be in the house, and I stopped hounding on the dog, and the dog is getting worse. Please give me that feedback. I need that to realize what needs to be basically said, changed, and worked upon to be able to make sure that that's not what's going on. If what I'm saying is making things just way worse than you've ever seen with your dogs before, please speak up, because that's what I'm in reality begging for. As much as I appreciate when someone's like, oh, it's working and my dog's doing much better and I don't understand, but my dog is actually listening to me now. I like that. I do. But the main thing, to be able to help more and more people out. with being able to give what I want to be able to give, that free advice to more and more and more people to be able to get into a better place. Overnight fix? No, I don't want nothing overnight to be just magical. But there's a few things that I'm going to say is in a couple of days' time, you are going to like realize some different changes going on. It may not be like, oh, my dog is perfectly in tune, but you're going to look at that dog one day and just be like, wow, there's something extra is happening here. And that's what, in reality, I'm looking for. As much as I'm like, I want to, again, I got into dog training to make money. And then when I started getting deeper and deeper into it, I started to just, I can't do that because it just doesn't fit for me. So the main thing is I don't want to have to use people to be able to get what I need to be able to survive. I just have faith that everything is going to be fine somewhere else and it's going to work out. It's going to be all right. That I don't need to use someone in a vulnerable position to be able to gain something. I don't want nothing from anybody. I don't want any donations. I don't want anything. I don't want nothing from nobody. I'm not even going to put links. You want to go buy stuff that I use and buy. I'm not going to do nothing. There's not going to be any of that because I don't need it and I don't want it. And I don't want someone to feel like they're in the hook for having to listen to what I say because they got money in the game. I just want you to, if you listen to what I have to say, cool. If not, then just go away and keep doing what you're doing. I don't understand why someone would think that you have to listen to what I have to say and you have to do what I'm saying doing. You don't have to do anything. And that's something that I think is really, really powerful on this planet. Because the more that someone wants you so badly to do something, they want to be heard, the more that there's this trickery going on. I don't, this is going to sound messed up, people, but I don't care. I don't care if 2 people watch my video. I don't care if none. And I'm the only person that watches it here and there a couple months later. I don't care. It's not going to make me feel better. It's not going to make me feel sad. It's not going to slow me down. It's not going to speed me up. I'm just doing what I'm doing. And since day one, because my main message, I really need to get back to that in reality. I try to integrate it a little bit with what it is that I do with these videos, with this dog stuff. But it's not so much of me out here trying to, I don't know what to say, like change the world. It's just to be able to speak something, to be able to get someone just a little inspired to like, maybe I should try that. Maybe I should do more. In a way to just get someone to just like want to do something. Even if it is to do nothing from all the madness that you're doing, but like want to just do something. I didn't come on here to just get millions of people to watch me because they're not. Straight up. As much as someone would want that, I'm telling you, that is at the end of the day, a very, very risky thing for anyone to be in. Because now your expectations are going to be a certain way. Now you have to perform a certain way. And I'm just going to be me for the remainder of my life. I'm not going to put on no show. I'm not going to put on no front. I'm just going to be me, and I'm going to explain to somebody how to be able to get into a better place. The same way of how I've been able to find myself to get into a better place. I started by, for one, reading my Bible and actually reading it and giving up on what anybody had to say about it. And I just got it in it myself. I said, I'm going to figure this out. And something like that has been able to help me. And since then, I've had this like desire in me to just get on and make a video about what's going on in my life. Just to do it. And for a while, I'm still kind of have that same itch in me of like, I don't get a choice. I got to do it. Because when I don't do it, it's like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not helping the way that I should be helping. I'm slacking on being able to make sure that someone else can be able to get better. That's how I personally feel. I'm not doing this because I want some sort of validation. No, it's because someone, somewhere, and this internet stuff is phenomenal. This video stuff compared to me as a kid, what we used to have, like live stuff I can get to going here soon, is phenomenal. To be able to help out one person because they're struggling right now. That's been my mission day one since I started making videos, because I was in a sticky situation in my life. I was in a very, very, very lost position in my life. And that lost position got me around more animals. And it got me around dogs, got me around chickens, got me around goats, got me around. It got me out. It got me in the wild. It got me in the trees. It got me getting bit up by bugs. We got these chiggers that come in a certain season of the year. It's challenging. It got me around all this. And then something happened in my life that allowed me to just like calm down. And since that day, I've had no choice but to just come on and tell the world about that. And since that day, I've been helping out more people in a different way when I was going to their houses with their dogs and seeing like y'all living in the same chaos I was. And since that day, I've been on a mission of how can I help you out and making sure that there's no manipulation going on here. There's no like me trying to force anything on you. It's your choice. It's your choice. And I'm not going to say to you that you have to do what I say. I'm not going to sell you something to get you locked in, to get you stuck. It's your choice. You get a choice to make in life. You don't have to do something. And this is the thing that's happening where why I believe the same with this person is stating on why the dogs are in a shelter. Because the choices that we make, we're going to a place that's saying to you, your dog is going to be amazing in 30, 60, 90 days. It's your choice to listen to all that language and all their advertisement and all the reviews and all their stuff and say, okay, I'm going to try that. And it's your choice to look at those reviews that say, oh, my dog was good to go in not even 4 days, and it's walk-in and I can take it anywhere and everything is great. It's your choice to be able to get in on that. And once you get into that and you realize, like, my dog's not coming along, now you run into a very sticky situation, because now you're like, well, my dog's not trainable. That dog's trainable. That dog's trainable. That dog is. But my dog is not trainable because it's not coming along the way that these said professionals are saying that my dog should be right now. So then the dog has to be given up on, because if the professional is saying that it basically it's not working, and you're trying to do follow-up calls and this and nothing's going nowhere, then clearly this dog is a lost cause. And then that dog has to be given up on. And I want to be the person to get in the middle of all that, to say, hey, maybe what we're doing is too much. Maybe the disrespect that we're getting is because we are disrespecting first. Maybe our dogs are being a hassle to us because we are being a hassle to them first. I just want to reprogram some people's thoughts a little bit about looking at this world a little differently, because I was running this world of everything else is the problem, except for just understanding that my main message, again, right here, right now, in just a few words, is maybe I'm the problem and I need to rearrange what my thought process is, what my learning process, what my experience has been, to understand that I'm the issue here. I'm doing something wrong. That's why that over there is just destroying me. That I'm doing something, and that's why that is affecting me even. Because nothing should, at the end of the day, affect you to the point that it just like, it destroys you, it stops you. This is why, for me, I wish that more people would get on this YouTube and start making videos and get out of your fear of the unknown. Just push through it. And once you push through that, there's a few people, a handful of people on this that are just making everything from it. It should just be a collective group of all of us. All of us should be able to benefit from this. And all of us have a story to tell that all of us, I want to hear your story. I want to hear what's going on. And that's what you're here listening from me, is my story. My story of realizing I was in chaos and I was struggling and I was hurting. And I was doing all the dog stuff to try to get my dogs to look better. I even went to a dog training school, one of the best ones in the nation, one of the most sought after schools in the nation. I went to that school. I went through that school with some of the best grades coming out of that school. I went to the internship in that school because I was like, I'm going to be I'm hardcore now. So I did extra and had to figure out life with getting no pay, no nothing, just stuck in, man. It sucked. It was hard, but I did it to just learn more and be able to get more experience. I did all of that. And then I was realizing I'm just not getting what I want. This is my experience that I'm talking about. If you want to join in and try something that I've realized in my experience, maybe you could get the same results that I've gotten. But I'm not going to demand that on you. I've done all of this stuff and realized I'm not getting anywhere. Because in reality, I've just, at the end of the day, talking about my Johnny, not giving up on him. He's that situation that I see a lot of people in, why the dogs are in the shelter. Because they're trying all of this stuff and it's just not getting anywhere. And again, I'm not even doing some random person's training program. I'm doing one that was specifically laid out to be a premium program to society that someone has put together, and they're making millions a year off of this program, saying this is what's going to work. And I was struggling. I was struggling with not only just the one dog from there, but three of the dogs I got from there. I was struggling. And I was like, what's going on? What's happening? And I didn't I didn't give up on the dogs, because I'm like, I got to figure this out. But the beyond average person, I'm strange. I dig deep. I don't know why, but I just dig deep. And I wouldn't expect everyone to dig that deep, of just still trying after all of the problems that I was going on. Even my Great Pyrenees right now, giving me problems again. But I just realized I haven't never lost an animal still. And I think I'm putting too much pressure and trying to he's just chilling right now. He hanging out. And I'm I was doing too much with him still even. I'm just relaxed. And now this dude is over there hanging out, just living and hanging. I haven't lost a single animal. And last night he runs in the back, he's barking like crazy. Oh, I slept so good. Because I was like, the dude is on work. He's got it in him. I was trying too much. And I know for me, I was at that stage of giving up on especially my dogs from the shelter, that everyone else, not everyone, but most everyone else is going to be in that same scenario. of realizing like this, it's not working. Why isn't it going anywhere? So I want to be able to say something to someone of, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to force anything on you. I'm not here to say that you are going to have a superstar stud of a dog. It's going to be off leash in 2 weeks and you're going to be able to do anything and go anywhere. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying if you want your dog to be able to listen better to you, listen to the dog. Stop thinking that the dog is just so wrong and start to look at yourself and just look at you. You. This is the main thing that I've been talking about since day one of the first video that I've ever posted to put public on the YouTube, is stop blaming and start taking your own accountability. Stop blaming, because every time that you're blaming and you're looking out there as that's what it is, the more that you're just going to keep getting that over and over and over again. And then you're going to come to the realization one day at one time that once you start to understand that, now you can start to dance around the world and understand what you should pursue and what you should stay away from. This is what I talk about every single day on all of my videos. Stop blaming. And for me, it's easy in the dogs for me to be able to see that today as opposed to years and years ago, because I see that the dogs are just that reflection. And there's a book I'm about to read next is The Dog Mirroring You, because we're pushing out negativity to the dog. The dog is going to match that negativity, and they're gonna bump up on top of that, because we're playing a battle here. We're fighting with them. And there was just something that just stopped me at one appointment working with a puppy with someone of just trying to get the dog to stop jumping, and it was chewing on them and jumping on them. It would jump and chew. And I was like, man, this puppy's savage. And I'm doing all this. I'm like, why are we fighting with dogs? Aren't we intelligent human beings? Why are we fighting with them? Why are we doing so much with them? As opposed to just standing there and just looking at that dog and say, hey, follow me. Period. That's all that I'm saying, is look at your own self and understand that we are the reasons that the dogs are in the shelter. The dog doesn't want to be there. The dog wants to be somewhere doing something with somebody, even if it's just sitting down sleeping in your house. That's what the dogs want to do. But we got it in us that we're trying to like do all this extra and do this more. And that's what's putting, at the end of the day, say the abuse on the dog. And then when the dog gets pushed so far, that's when we got to give up on it. Nope, I got to quit. That dog's, I got to move on to the next. And who's pushing most of that? Because we're listening to these training programs from these said reputable people that are saying in 5 minutes, your dog is this. 5 minutes, your dog is that. There's like hundreds of thousands of videos on this YouTube of how to get your dog to stop in 5 minutes. I'm not promoting myself. I'm not pushing myself. I'm not paying ads for myself. I'm just talking in front of a camera on the farmland. This is all that I'm doing. I've got so many recommendations. I get emails. I get 5 emails a day of, hey, Mark, sign up for this. We can help push your videos. Sign up for this to do your keywords and this and this. I don't put no descriptions. I don't put no keywords. I don't put no nothing. I don't do nothing. Soon enough, I'm probably not even going to put titles, because that's how powerful I know the world actually truly is. When someone is looking for some real help, you're going to find it if you really want it and you really want to actually realize what the real problem actually truly is. That's where someone's going to come and find me and see me and listen to what I got to say, because I'm not here to sell you nothing. I'm here to sell you the understanding that we got problems and we need to start looking at this world a little differently. The world wants to tell us to do something a certain way. And the world is, at the end of the day, straight up that I can say it, is deceiving you. The world is what's lies and manipulation. And that's why when more and more that we keep doing the stuff that the world is trying to tell us to do, the more and more we just keep getting pushback. More and more people are begging and looking for food. The more and more people are just, because how many times, I'm going to go to a story time for half a second. How many times pretty much everyone told me raising chickens, being on the farm, that's stupid. Where are you going to get with that? But I've got like, I got too much food, people. I don't even know what to do with it anymore. Like I know how to make it for my own. I've got my own hatching. So I got thousands of chicks out of nothing. And what's going on today? People struggling to eat. You know what I'm not struggling with? I'm actually getting a little fat right now. And that's why I'm running even harder lately, because I'm eating too much. Because I didn't run into that. Because the world was telling me what's stupid and what's no good and what I need to do. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. I need to do what I know inside I need to do. And that's what I want everyone to get back to with every single video that I make. Understand what you want. That's a comment that I hear many a times. That's the one that I'm like, I hear you. This is what I already knew was right to do. But yet they were telling me to this, but I already knew it in me that this was the right way. That's my message. That's what I want to explain to people. You know what to do. But out there, they're all like, in 5 minutes, and this and this and this and this, you're gonna have, and that's you don't even feel comfortable with that. You don't feel comfortable with slapping that leash around your dog and telling it no every 5 seconds. You're not comfortable with that. And if you're not comfortable with that, your dog is going to read that from you. And then your dog is only going to keep disrespecting you more. It's got to go to the shelter now. You know, I get it. You got young kids in the house. You got a dog acting like a butt like that. Get rid of the dog. I get it, man. It's a safety thing. You trying to protect your family. Any husband, any man out here that would just allow a dog that he's not sure of being around his 2-year-old daughter, dude, heck no. You got to get rid of that. I get you. I understand it. But the thing is, we need to do what we know we need to do with these dogs. And we're doing too much with them. My main message, again, stated for maybe the 5th time right now, we need to do what we need to do. Stop doing what everyone else is telling us to do. We know what's best inside of us. And I'm right here, right this second, say, you a Bible believer, a Jesus understander like me, you know what to do. God has put it in you to know what to do. You already understand what to do. And some of y'all, you're like, I don't really believe in that. I don't understand that. But there's stuff that goes on in your day that you just can't explain. It just happens. And that's a beautiful thing to me. That stuff just happens. Things get lined up. You don't care at all about, no, there's no God, no this. But yet, if you're watching my videos, I'm telling you, it's moving. It's moving because you needed to hear something. And I'm not here to force you to say, you got to believe in this. That's how you're going to have a nice dog. You got to believe. No, you got to do what you got to do. You got to be who you want to be. You got to make the choice when you want to make the choice. No one should push it on you and say, this is what's going to work for you. It's not going to work. It just isn't. And I don't know why, but it's just the way the world works. We've got laws. We've got natural things. We've got the way that everything is out here. It's just the way it is. You already know inside of you what is it you need to do. And this is why a lot of people are going to say, resonate with what it is that I say. Because we're focused on outside. This is going to this, as opposed to focus on your stuff. Your stuff. Focus on you. Focus on what you got going on. Stop worrying about what the world's got going on out there. Stop thinking you're less than because your dog wasn't able to loose leash walk in 5 minutes like that guy or the girl in the video was able to show. It gets into people to make them feel less than. And that's the last thing that any of us should be feeling. Because as soon as we get that way, that's when the chaos starts. That's when you give up on the dog. I want people to not give up on the dogs, knowing that most case what we're doing is we are disrespecting it. We are treating it just ruthless. And once we stop doing that, the dog is going to now be a joy to be around. It's going to be pleasant to be around. You're not going to have to be on edge with it anymore. And again, if what I say doesn't work, cool. You know, drop the text in the comments, say, hey, you know what, Mark, I tried the hanging out with my dog, stop giving it treats, stop doing obedient stuff, stop using the leash to try to tell my dog what to do, and just use it as a tool to just have the dog hang out with me. And once the dog understood to hang out with me, I was able to get rid of it. To write in the comments to say, my dog is way worse now. My dog is now resource guarding. My dog is now biting. My dog is now this. Just put it in there and state that. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I need. That's what's needed in reality. That's the unfortunate thing that most dog training sites and stuff, they don't get that. And I want that. I crave off of that because that's how we're actually going to inflict change to be able to help. As opposed to you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good. I want to hear that this isn't working. What do I need to do? Where do I need to go? Because the main thing is what happens in that scenario is most cases we're still doing too much because we're still looking at the outside noise. We're still looking at what's going on over there. You're still looking at this. Don't look at my dogs. Mine are mine. I'm me. You're not going to have what I have. You're not going to do with yours that I do with mine. And most of y'all don't want nothing to do with none of my dogs. Like me and my Dalmatian just went on a 9-mile run today. A run. She's actually getting pretty good now. This is getting exciting. But you don't want that. I mean, you couldn't even keep up with that. No, shoot. Less than 0.5% of the whole world's population couldn't even do something like that. You don't want that. You want what you have. You want what you got going on. You want what you needed. You want what you desire. Stop trying to put on it something that someone else said that you should have. That's where we're stumbling. That's when you got to give up on the dog because it's not working. It didn't go fast enough. They put that beautiful advertisement together. In 30 days, your dog is going to be just awesome, non-reactive, hanging out, just good. It's going to be amazing. And you get to that, I'm telling you, that 35th day, and you're just like, man, my dog isn't nothing pretty like that. What's going on? What am I doing wrong? What's wrong? What's this? What's this? What's that? What's that? As opposed to realizing more likely, what we're doing to that dog is savage, absolutely savage. We're not respecting it. We're not caring about it. We're not looking out for it. We're just treating it like it's just nothingness. And unfortunately, not saying that that's what all dog training represents, but that's what happens when you're confused. When you're confused about what to do, when to correct, when to treat, when to this, when to that, you're not sure, you're disrespecting. You're not doing it correctly. Just put that in your own self of understanding, like looking at your own worldview that way. Of if someone's telling you to do something and then you're like trying to do it and they're like, oh no, but this, and you're just bouncing and going all around. What do you want? Where are we going? What's going to happen in that? You're going to go to the point that you're about to slap somebody. You're about to get angry. You know, you can put it down to your money. You know, they tell you, if you get the job done, we're going to give you $1,000. You get the job done, and they look at you and they say, oh, well, no, but this, and this. So then you work on it again, you fix that, and they're like, well, no, but this. And then you do it again, well, no. And then like 5 years later, you still don't have that $1,000. What are you going to do in that moment? Most of y'all would have been quit, been thrown something, been had a tantrum, been done something crazy, go to the shelter. That's what happens. We're leading these dogs into confusion, your own self into confusion. I'll give up on the dog. That's what I want to get people out of. Don't even get into that confusion. Understand, is it me or is it the dog? Is the dog doing something that is just hardwired, that is just a psycho? Or is it something that I'm doing that's driving that dog to be a psycho? It's something that we really should start to look at. Because I know a lot of times when we want it pretty, we're going to do things not appropriate in any sort of way. Not appropriate. Relationships take time. Relationships are natural. Relationships work together. You don't have to work at it. It should happen. It should be there. If you're trying to work at making a relationship happen, you're failing. You're failing. If you're thinking that I'm going to get my dog to sit, get my dog to place, get my dog to down, and that's going to build my relationship, my dog to start to like me, you're working to make a relationship happen. You're failing. That's all that I'm saying. That's what I'm doing. And I'm saying, slow down. Slow down. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Go to that trainer that's going to sell you this and sell you that to be able to get your dog into a better place. Go that route. But more than likely, I'm going to say is, you're probably going to stumble and fumble. Not always, but a lot of people are. This is something that I want more people to just really think about what it is that I do. I'm not here to say, I got all the answers, I got it figured out. I'm here to say, I need you to figure it out. I'm here to say, you got to understand, you got to know what you're working with. I'm not going to come to you and say, I don't appreciate what times you're feeding your kids. You know, what would you do in that scenario? But we allow someone to come in and do that with our dogs. You're going to allow me to come in and say, oh, you know what? Your daughter, I know she's only 2, but she's on the phone too much. She shouldn't be on the phone here. She needs to stop this. She needs to stop that. She needs to go here. You need to put her in a room. You need to nap her this. You need to nap her that. You know, how silly does that sound? But that's what we do with these dogs. And we're not like putting it together. Because one thing that I'm going to say is most people just look at these dogs as they're just nothing. Nothing. They're just stupid, silly, insignificant beings that are there for just your pleasure like it's a purse or a pair of shoes. And if that's the way that you view the dogs, then yeah, give up on it and don't get another one. Simple. You know, that one that you put in the shelter is cool. But some people, they put multiple dogs in the shelters at this point. Multiples. And they just get another one, think, oh, I'm going to try again. Get another one. Oh, I'm going to try again. And just keep doing that. And that's why we have the need for people to like have to breed these dogs, to keep going and going and going for that demand. If there was no demand for it, we would have no one's going to be doing it anymore. But we're not worrying about the start of the problem. We're trying to come in an emotional stance of the end of the problem. And then you get stuck in that. And then you get swarmed, you get just consumed in that. As opposed to like realizing, how can I make sure that I don't have this problem to begin with? I don't know why, what's going on with us as a human species? Like, why aren't we thinking about like fixing the problem before it happens? As opposed to fixing the problem as the problem is already figured out, it's done, and it's already passed. Why aren't we fixing the problem? This is what I'm going to say is what should be what men are all about on this planet. We solve problems. We see a situation and we're like, we got to do something to fix that problem. We're not going to like watch it go through and be like, oh, I see it breaking. I see it falling. Okay, now let's get to it. No, the second that I see something that's having an issue, that's the moment, okay, we got to do something. And if in that moment we're not getting anywhere, okay, there must be something else that we got to go on here. And that's what I wanted people to provide. We need to look at ourselves and understand our own selves. If you're not calm, how's your dog going to be calm? If you're anxious as all can be over everything and can't recover and always the woe is me and the life sucks and nothing's great, then why wouldn't you think your dog's going to be that? If you're always just in this like this super strict, I want everything, and your dog doesn't want to follow suit, what do you think's going on here? A lot of this that we just need to look at ourselves, what the heck we're doing, what we're looking for. And then that's when we're going to be able to actually get some sort of success. But we're not doing that. We're in this. They know it's best, and they're going to help me. And then when it doesn't go out that way, I'll give up on it. Just give up. Just quit. And that's what's challenging to me, I guess I can say. But at the same time, straight up, I don't care if you listen to me. I don't care if you don't. I don't care if you take anything I got to say and apply it, and I don't care if you don't. I don't care if you think that I'm the world's greatest person. I don't care if you think that I'm just some evil, worthless, no good person. I don't care. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep making happen what I need to make happen. Because I'm here to give you, in reality, the journey of what I'm working with, what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, what's going on. And I'm not just basing it off of what I'm actually doing, but the research that I got from all around that I pay attention to. There's so many doctors that give the exact same, and I don't want to put it out there, but not even that, but scientists and all these people that say that when you get that shelter dog, allow it to get around you. Stop like doing anything to it. There's so much solid information on why you do that because of the dogs being in fear and not just smothering the dogs, that I'm going to have to do that myself and explain that to as many people as possible because there's real evidence behind the reasonings why. There's real evidence on why. Something as simple as asking a dog, can I cut your nails? As opposed to just grabbing it and doing it. There's something about it that just, why does it work? Who knows? But it works for most dogs. Ask them, hey, can I pet you? Ask them and see what happens. Why a lot of this works? Us as humans, we don't know everything. This is why for me, it's easy because I know that I can come from an unlimited source of understanding, that I don't need to have it all in myself in the moment, that I could get there and see and I will be able to know what to do because I understand a greater, higher power than myself. But for someone that doesn't, I can see why you could be limited in what you're seeing and what's going on. Why would asking a dog if I could pet it, why would it matter? I just come in and do whatever I want. You know, that's your mindset. You're going to keep being a person that's going to keep putting those dogs in a shelter. Simple. Because I could do whatever I want. I could be whatever. I could make it happen. No, you can't. You can't. And the more that you do that, the more that you're struggling. The more that your kids don't want to be around, your wife don't want to be around, your husband don't want to be around, your grandparents don't want to, no one wants to be around. Because the more that you're just, I'm going to make it how I want it. As opposed to like, what's going on with you? That's something that I want more people to really think about. And why I've been able to have, I'm going to say the success that I'm looking for with my dogs. I don't want to have to tell my dogs anything anywhere I go. I just want to be able to have them be with me. I want to know that we're safe anywhere we go. I'm fine. Everything's good to go. I don't need to be on edge about anything. I could just comfortably just be knowing that this past 2 days, had 2 dogs run up on my Kahi. One of them had his mouth wide open and put it on his neck, and he's giving me the information. He looks at me, and he's like, this dog's fine. But that dog had this extraness that he came up, and then when he came up, he was a little dude, came up, my Kahi just looked at him like, we good. And we good, we move on. Because we're calm. We're chill. We're able to see what's going on. I'm able to allow my dog to be able to understand how to be able to make a good decision because he's calm. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I found by doing what I'm doing and doing what I'm talking about. I'm doing stuff that I talk about, and I'm seeing amazing things from it. Just amazing stuff. It still fascinates me on how I don't care what any of these dogs are doing right now, that they're fine. One did go take a dang egg. I saw him take it. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna, the more energy I keep putting into that, the more it's just like, dude, it's an egg, man. What's that harming? What's that gonna hurt? What's that gonna destroy? And soon enough, that's just gonna go away. The thing is, it's fascinating that we're just hanging out now. It's fascinating that 2 days ago, my great Pyrenees back there, I would be on edge right now. Like even see my Johnny walk over there next to him right now. On edge, because that dog's serious about business. He's serious about business. That Pyrenees, he's supposed to be wary of dogs and make sure that I'm safe out here. And it always put me on edge. But today I'm just like, we good. Because Johnny's good. Because Shadow's good. Because Oreo's good. We all just chill. And that's what I've been able to do and being able to find with what I talk about doing with these dogs. And if I've been able to see that in my own personal life, I've been able to explain that, to give that to other people. That's why I talk. That's why I speak. That's why I keep doing what I'm doing. So hopefully someone can see my journey of what's going on and say, hey, let me try that out. I'm not here to force that on you. Try it out. Thank you. Something that has really gotten really cool in my days is, for one, being able to, I guess I could say, have more fun with my dogs, as opposed to everything kind of being on edge. And I'm not someone that, again, is like looking at other people's videos. I don't even watch dog training videos anymore, unless they're talking about how to build what I'm going to say is the proper relationship of understanding that it's not work. It's something that should naturally happen. It's the only people I care to listen to anymore, because I realized that you get like an easy experience. When I'm like, come on guys, let's go inside. And they're like, oh, okay. Come on guys, let's come outside. Oh, okay. Come on guys, it's time to eat. And then it's like, we get excited. And it's like, come on, let's just go over here. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know how. The more and more that I just keep doing what I'm doing, and seeing things just keep getting more chill and more chill, the more that I would want someone to try it out, but at the same time, you know, it's up to you. I'm not forcing you. I'm not gonna dictate to you, you gotta this, you gotta be like that, you gotta do what I do. I want you to just see what I'm doing, hear about what I'm doing, hear about how I interact with my dogs, and see, does that help with you or not? And if that helps with you, you know, amazing. But the one thing that I've still noticed is everything that I'm doing and changing and evolving into with it, I'm not seeing anything get worse. I see things get better, but I don't, or even I would say stay the same, but I don't see anything getting like worse, where I'm like getting nervous, where I'm like looking at Johnny like, oh, what you gonna do? What's gonna happen? What's going down? I'm getting like so neutral that we just chilling, we just hanging out, and that's something that at the end of the day, what I'm talking about, it doesn't cost anything, but just you to just understand that maybe you are the one that's disrespecting that dog. And that's why that dog is looking like a fool right now. That's just what I kept seeing every day with my dogs. When I'd see them and say, get over here, get down. I see my dog look at me like, man, okay, I'll do it because otherwise, basically, or else. And I got sick of that. And that's something that I'm not here to, this is a thing that I would see it as why I'm gonna get pushback, because someone's gonna get in their feelings. And this is just with me, you know, I'm a man. I don't get in my feelings, I just do. And something that I learned as a 5-year-old boy, it's what you feeling, get out there and get it done. It just is what it is. And I can get in someone's feelings because they would feel that they're gonna not get as much work by listening to me. A simple, small little me, a nobody, a nothingness. You can listen to me and someone else is gonna like lose work. If what I'm saying, this is why it's just so revolutionary to me every time that I hear someone say something wild to me. That if what I'm saying is going to make your dog get worse, that would benefit them. That would like make them to be so much better, because then they're gonna have like extra to say work on or do something, because now the dog is even more worse. So now we have like more work. So that means more money for them. But yet, if the dog gets better and they don't need any more help, then they're losing money, right? So I guess I could see why someone would try to say what I'm doing is wrong or it's not right. You know, if I was putting someone in danger, but I'm not. And I don't believe at the end of the day I ever would be putting somebody in danger. I'm saying to you, if your dog is reactive, it's barking at other dogs, get some space. I'm not telling you to put it closer to it. If your dog is reactive and barking at people, get some space. Don't put your dog in it. I'm saying your dog is reactive and weird over noises in the house, get some space. Start with a smaller sound to be able to get them to be able to get used to it. I'm saying to like, get space so that your dog can relax, calm down with you and be able to be in the world relaxed, calm with you. I'm not saying to do anything dangerous. And if anybody does anything like the opposite of what I'm saying and you get into a sticky situation, yeah, I want to know what's going on so that I can say, I didn't tell you to just put your dog in the middle of the dog park when your dog is scared of dogs. I said, get the heck away from it. Stay a distance so your dog can be in the atmosphere. It can smell. Your dog could smell a mile away, man. So your dog is 800, 600 meters away and it's smelling the dogs and it's a little freaking out. You stay a distance, stay away. I'm telling you how to calm down to make sure that you're not in danger. But the unfortunate thing is most dog training represents to put your dog further into danger. Slap that collar on that thing and slap that dog. How many dogs have I seen redirect on their owners because they tapped it with a prong collar? Nobody wants to talk about that. How many dogs have I seen bite and get activated to want to go on to another dog because of the prong collar or the e-collar on the dog? But nobody wants to talk about that. Somebody wants to say that what I'm talking about is going to get more dogs hurt. But I have seen with my own eyes more dogs with equipment on bite and get on other dogs than anything else that I've seen, anything that I've seen. anything, because the main thing is you get this false sense of security with I got this prong on and now I can go anywhere and do anything, and your dog's not ready for it. Whereas someone that knows that their dog has said, I got a reactive dog, they stay away. And they're more, man, what's that good word to use right there? They're more aware of the situation of realizing that they're not going to put the dog in danger. So they're not going to even put their dog in the middle of a situation that they know that something might happen. They're more, man, what's a good word to use right there? Man, I need a word right there. I can't think of it. I'll get it here in a little bit. But they're more just understanding that their dog needs some space and it needs some time. So I don't see much of a danger in that. But when we take a dog that's nervous, slap a collar on it, and get the dog to appear to look good, like it's sitting, it's doing this, and it's not good yet, but it just appears to good because our human eye sees it, that's the dog that everyone needs to look out for. Every dog, not every dog, but most dogs that attack me and my dog when I go on walks, they all got stuff on because we get comfortable like, oh, everything's okay. And it's not okay. We're masking the situation. And then when it happens, it's like, oh my goodness, what's going on? What's happening? Give up on the dog. That's what I want to get more people out of. To the point of it looks like it's good, but it's not good. Your dog looks good when it's got a prong e-collar on and it knows to stay in position, but it's not good. It's just hiding what's going on inside of the dog. And then when that dog actually gets to that boiling point, it's going to it's going to do something. Dog goes to the shelter. That's what I want to stop. Because when people are more of, I know my dog is like that, and I know it's going to take time. I know I got to build my relationship. I know I can't rush it. These dogs don't run into those scenarios because people don't put them in sticky situations. When we got this false sense of security because of what the dog appears to be, that's what I see as the danger that's continuing keeping worse and worse and worse today. Worse and worse and worse. We need to work upon that. Not work upon the dogs already in the shelter. You know, okay, y'all keep doing that. But there's a bigger problem out here of the dog beforehand. Because afterhand, you're using the same techniques. And then beforehand, the same techniques. So it's like we're just completing the cycle here over and over again. And I want to be able to explain something to help someone get out of that cycle. I was ready to give up on dogs because I'm in this cycle. And I finally just got out of it. I got no desire to get rid of my dogs. You're not taking my dogs from me. My dogs are with me. I don't care where I move. Where I move is guaranteed to be something that I know I can bring all my dogs with me, all my animals at that, and I will sacrifice to make that. That means I got to pitch a tent because it doesn't have a house and that's all I can afford. That's what I'm doing. You're not taking my dogs from me because that's how we built up such a great bond. Because I got out of that loop of doom, basically. I got into something of what I want to say is freedom and peace and calmness, and relaxing. I want more people to just be able to just hear my story and be able to just see if it works for you. If it doesn't, okay.